The third International Istanbul Silent Cinema Days takes place until the 18th. We now have film critic Jay Weissberg to talk about this event. Hello and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So what are your impressions of the International Istanbul Cinema Days? What do you think of its value? You were also here last year.
I was indeed. I'm a great supporter of the event. I think that more needs to be done internationally to remind people why silent cinema is a beautiful art form, and also to help break down the idea that somehow we have to talk about silent cinema and sound cinema. We should be talking about cinema.
Yeah, okay. Well, we continue to be entertained and fascinated by these films. What's the appeal?
Part of the appeal is its pure visual beauty. So the idea of taking sound out, or never having been in the first place, forces us to engage with cinema in a way that we're perhaps not used to anymore, of that kind of purity of form. Of course, all of these films were always screened with music, with live music, and here as well, in Istanbul, everything has live accompaniment, whether it's semi-experimental works or perhaps a simple piano, a trio. We just screened earlier today a series of films on the Ottoman Empire, films from various parts of the Ottoman Empire, with a wonderful ensemble that consisted of traditional musicians and voice.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the films showing at the festival? Any personal suggestions?
Quite a few, actually. This year the theme is travel, and that's a perfect metaphor in a way for silent cinema, which was so international. You know, all you had to do was clip out the intertitles, translate them, put them back in, and they became international. So that was a wonderful expression, that is a wonderful expression, of just how widespread these films were. So here in Istanbul, there's going to be showing, for example, a program of Charlie Chaplin shorts for children. We're doing the Buster Keaton film, Seven Chances, a wonderful German expressionist film called Algol, which is one of the lesser-known German expressionist films, a fantastic explosion of Orientalist fantasy, The Lion of the Mongols, starring the wonderful Russian actor Ivan Mozhukin. So it's an incredibly rich program.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a visual feast.
It is indeed.
Well, the largest and oldest festival dedicated to silent cinema is the Pordenone Film Festival. Tell us why these festivals are important in preserving our film heritage.
For too long, silent cinema was denigrated as something that was archaic and outmoded. And as people began to rediscover it, they realized just how modern it is. If you see, let's say, 10 films from 1907, for example, let's take that for an example, it's all experimentation. Everything is experimentation that early. It's all new, it's all exciting. Mm-hmm. We need to reconnect and to reconsider what silent cinema was and the diversity of the cinema from its earliest years up until the late 1920s, when there was an explosion of creativity, of movement, of not just the idea of, let's say, movie stars, but on every level. It's an art form that speaks to us still very much today.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jay Weissberg, thank you very much for joining us on Showcase.
Thank you very much.